Hello guys and welcome back. On today's video I just want to talk to you guys about what I call reverb secret. Obviously you could argue that there's nothing like secret, but I just want to show you guys few things that I don't see much people talking about, but I do that most times to actually get a signature sound. So we all know that reverbs, especially in the box, could leave you something to be desired for, and sometimes you might get it right, sometimes you might need a couple of reverbs stacked together to also get it right. But there's something that I've been doing of late, which is this UFX reverb by Ujam. It's a really great sounding reverb. They have a lot of modes, as you can see, from basic to room, hall, play, string, digital, 80s, warm, get it, reverse. The list is endless, even vocal eyes and that shimmer. But on this room mode specifically, just to give me that room kind of texture, and then playing with this early reflection, not pre-delay, sorry, early reflection, because early reflection is the first sound you hear on a reverb before you then hear the tail, which is the late reflection. And most reverb obviously doesn't give you option of this early reflection. So when you have one that does that, it's really a game changer. Something like the True Verb by Waves, gives you early reflection. So this one, 100% early reflection. So we hear more of the early than the tail. But if I bring it to 50%, then obviously it's 50 early, 50 tail. If I go 0, then we're hearing more of the tail of the reverb and not the early reflection, right? But not just this, it also gives me kind of different sound. So what I tend to do now is to get something that's a bit more intimate, I mix it with another reverb. So on this occasion, I'm mixing it with Valhalla vintage verb. You can see it's on concert hall, but look at the decay time, which is the reverb time, just 0.40 seconds to make it very short. 20% pre-delay, obviously 100% mix. There's some high cut and low cut going on. Now on this early, it's still 100%, the late is 100%, right? But I'm using more of the early here. So now when you listen to this vocal, let's just have a listen to this vocal with it on. I'll go ahead and bypass both at a point, and then I'll put 1 and 1. So obviously we'll listen to this one on its own, this one on its own, and both together, so you can see how much niceness it adds, and obviously different sound. Remember also on the mix, I'm only doing 15%, so it's just a tiny bit of it mixed into the Valhalla. So what you hear more is the Valhalla, but with this tiny bit mixed into it, it sort of colored the sound differently, so you don't quite hear that specific Valhalla sound. Let's have a listen to it.
Free. They think your kindness is so weak. No, you don't give it up so easy, babe. But you wanted my attention. Yeah, you wanted my affection. You got me tattooed on your mind. You just want me all that time. Well, this place is never what it seems. Take me out there.
So what you notice is with just this one, it almost feels like there's no reverb going on, because it's just a tiny bit of wetness that you don't notice, but you feel it. Now that going into this one, from this one now you notice there's a bit more reverb going on, but if you turn this off, this almost have tail but without the width that this one adds. Let's have a listen to that.
Free. They think your kindness is so weak. No, you don't give it up so easy, babe. But you wanted my attention. Yeah, you wanted my affection. You got me tattooed on your mind. You just want me all that time. Well, this place is never.
So there you go. I just want to obviously show you how you can, mix up reverbs, including delays, to just get a specific kind of effect instead of using one particular sound. And obviously sometimes I might have a reverb on one send, have another one on a different send, another one on a different send, and blend them in. But sometimes it's also good to just add them together in one send, just to give you that kind of sound, instead of, because when you have them on separate send, the sound will still be different to when you have them on the same send. So you can try both ways, but sometimes I prefer it this way, because now this ujam UFX reverb is now giving us width on that Valhalla one, whereas if I do it separate, it might still not feel like one cohesive sound, right? So depending on what you want to achieve will determine how you go about setting it up. So I hope this is obviously a great insight, and thank you for being a member of this channel. See you on the next one.